Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would do a makeup look basing around that situation of my face at the moment. Honestly, I feel uncomfortable even being in front of the camera and also like showing you this disgusting face, but hey, I wasn't blessed with great skin to start with, and also I have come to realization that I just have to own it. I have to work my way around it. Things will get better. This monster right here, I don't even know how to conceal that without showing the bump, so we're just gonna work our way around it. And also most of the products that I'm going to use are cruelty free as well. I did a get ready with me using cruelty-free makeup brands. Now this is going to be somewhat of a part 2 because it turns out that I had more products that are cruelty-free. So to prime, I am going to use the Flower Beauty Pore Minimizing Primer. I've actually only used this once or twice, so I can't really tell you if I like it, but I love that it has a green tint because green tint use is great for combating redness. I've been mixing my moisturizing primer or moisturizer and the foundation. So for today, I am going to use the Fenty Beauty foundation, and this one is in the shade 310. This is a little bit darker on my skin tone. I'm going to mix a little bit of the Too Faced Hangover RX primer just to thin the foundation a little bit and also to add a little bit of moisture because this foundation sets matte. Now I have been avoiding this area of my chin because one, that is where I had my really bad flaky skin. Like my skin right now, believe it or not, is doing whole lot better than what it looked like yesterday. I have been using a beauty sponge to apply my foundation, mainly because it has a little bit of moisture. It thins out the foundation as well as it doesn't really like aggravate my skin that much. Recently, I actually don't mind showing the acne. It's natural. There's no reason to hide from it. Everybody suffered from it somehow, and yeah, it's just a matter of working your way around it. I want a little bit of coverage, so I'm gonna go over with just the foundation, mainly on the areas where I want to cover because it's a bit quite red, and also the fact that it looks uneven, so I'm just gonna have to deal with that. I'm not gonna put a lot of foundation on my neck. As you can see, it's already flaking. That's a bit disgusting, but it's a reality, guys. At the moment, that's my skin. I know my face is a lot darker than my neck, but I am going to actually go and use a lighter concealer, and this one is the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. I'm going to use this to prime my eyes as well. It's very lightweight. It gives a nice coverage. I do find though that I have to build the coverage quite a bit, mainly because I have really dark circles. But what I like about this concealer is that once I build it up, it doesn't really like look super cakey, and it brightens my face as well. So I'm going to pop a little bit around this area. I'm going to avoid that huge bump right there. I am going to use the Kat Von D translucent powder, and this is the Locket translucent powder. I recently disposed my Coty Airspun loose powder because I'm almost out of it, and also it was a good time to dispose it because it wasn't cruelty free, even though that the powder itself is great, but I don't like the scent. First of all, don't get me wrong, that powder is amazing. I actually did a review on that powder and it looked great because Tati recommended it, but now that I think about it, I would stay away from it. That's just my personal opinion. So I have been doing this technique of setting where I only set the center parts of my face, and I also like leave the areas that are quite dry, so typically around my jaw area. So I would just go over it with thin layer of powder and then the rest the same. To bronze our face, I'm going to use a cream bronzer slash contour. So this is the Fenty Beauty Matchsticks in Truffle. I love this because it sets into powder, so I would typically just like put this around my face and then don't set it, and it gives a nice bronze around the perimeter of my face, and it doesn't look like overly orange. Our face is looking a little bit darker, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit of that around here just to brighten the area a little bit. And I am going to go and use the brush that we used to set our face. I'm not going to add any more product. I'm just going to use whatever is left on the brush. For blush, I am going to use the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek. And this one is in the shade Stop It. This is the Bretman Rock collab with ColourPop. So I like to put my blush on my upper cheekbone because it lifts my face as well as it makes me look a lot more younger than what I look like. What I'm going to do is to actually use the Australis Strobe Jelly. It actually works fine on top of makeup, and I have used this bad boy for a bit. As you can see, I'm like halfway already, which is pretty rare because typically I don't really fully finish a product except for foundation and powders. But this one I used to wear every single day. For the eyes today, I am going to use the Makeup Max Sugar Queen eyeshadow palette. Now this is their second volume because the first one they had the Desert Queen palette, which I love, but the only problem is that they didn't have any shade for blush, whereas this one you could use it for blush and for eyeshadow as well. So for transition shade, I am going to go and use this shade right here, and that one is called Chewy. I've already primed my lids. I kind of vaguely set it with the translucent powder, but the concealer is still a bit wet, so the shadow can stick to my lid. I'm going to pick up a slightly smaller brush. So this is the ABH double-ended brush. I think I'm going to use the flat side and pick up this shade right here, and that one is called Cherry. It's a matte cherry eyeshadow, and I'm going to pack that on the outer part of my Then I'm gonna go back to the transition shade and blend everything. And I'm gonna pick up a little bit of this shade right here. It's like a salmon shade, just to go over the inner corner and a little bit on the outer corner. For the lower lash line, I'm just gonna put a little bit of cherry, since I'm already in this part, and drag that just to that bit there. Brush off the excess and grab the transition shade to go on the inner part and lower lash line. I really wanted to use this shade right here, which reminds me of the like Euphoria slash early 2000 makeup, where you have shimmer all over the lid. Ooh, that's nice. I love how it has a little bit of silver, a little bit of pink, and a little bit of blue. And this is what I usually do to try and distract people from looking at my face. Put on a really bright eye. So the attention is on the eye straight away, not on your face. Especially that I have this monstrous friend. And I'm going to go back to that brush that we use and pick up cherry and sort of blend them together so it has a nice fade. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of this shade right here just to bring the color together where the color meets, so we have that nice gradient of color. And this is basically done. So for the inner corner highlight, I am going to pick up the silver shade, which is this one right here, and pop that. Oh my gosh, I'm very icy today. I love it. Just gonna grab a brush to remove a little bit of the excess product. For my mascara, I'm going to use the Essence, what's this called? Lash Princess Mascara. I personally do not like this mascara. A lot of people say it's good, but for me, it doesn't really do much. I still love the Essence Mascara in white and orange tube, which I talked about in my last two videos, but unfortunately they discontinued it. For my brow gel, I am going to use the ColourPop Brow Boss gel, and I absolutely love this brow gel. It gives me like a nice fluffy eyebrow look. I'm gonna go back to the face. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Jouer Bronzer Duo, and I have the shade Sunset and Sunkiss. So typically I like to mix them together. It might not look like anything, but seriously, when you apply this onto your face, it gives you a nice bronzy look. And I absolutely love it. For highlighter, I am going to use the e.l.f. Metallic Flare Highlighter, which I did a video on. And this highlighter is quite strange because when you swatch it, it's quite dry and it doesn't really pick up as much. But when you use a brush, it creates a whole different swatch. Like, it goes on the face real nicely and smoothly. It's very subtle, yet you can build it up, and I love it. My skin is looking a little bit too glowy for my liking, so what I do is I would take the setting powder that I use and kind of just feather it on the areas where I want more matte. So usually around my T-zone area and a little bit here. For setting my face, I have been loving the Glow Recipe Watermelon Ultra Fine Mist. It has a little bit of like oil to it, so it does give you a nice glow. So what I've been doing is I've been spritzing it around my jaw area because that's the area where I have dry skin. And it has a glorious spritzer. It's very, very fine. So I'm going to line my lips with the Jordana Mahogany Lip Liner. I don't really like overlining my lips. And for lipstick, I am going to use the EXO Beauty lipstick. This one is in the shade Deja Vu. This is Shan EXO's brand, and it's cruelty free. So these two products paired together is great because the Deja Vu on me looks a little bit too pale, especially on my skin tone, because it kind of looks like I have concealer lips. But I like putting in the darker lip liner. It gives more dimension to the lips. I'm just gonna fix my hair. So here is my final makeup look. Well, the point of this video is that I use cruelty-free products, as well as I try to work around what my skin is currently looking like. So as you can tell, you can't really see a lot of problems except for the bumps, but that's normal because you can't really conceal bumps. But in terms of like overall tone of my skin, it looks quite alright, and I thought I would throw on a happy eye look just to let you look at my eyeshadow away and distract you from what's happening on my face. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be updated whenever I upload a video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye!